What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Darian, man. I'm the BowTie Fragrance Guy on a channel where we talk about fragrances, fashion, and grooming. Looking good and smelling great. Try to give you guys tips that I've come across over the years or learned from different places, different people. Just help you every day when you go out there to look and smell your best. So if you're into that kind of content, make sure you hit subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications by hitting the bell icon as well. So anytime a new video gets uploaded, you guys get notified. Well, today we're going to be talking about, or I'm going to be talking about, 10 fragrances in my collection that I consider to be some of the best, or 10 of the best design fragrances ever created. I found that over the course of time when I've done like my 10 for life, quite a few of these fragrances kind of fluctuate in and out of my 10 fragrances for life. So, you know, obviously are fragrances that I think very, very highly of. My humble opinion is that in today's fragrance market, they don't make fragrances like these anymore. And I think a lot of you probably would agree with me when you see what's on the list. So I'm gonna run the intro, and when we come back, we'll get into it. If you wanna see what's on the list, you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. Let's go.
The BowTie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump into the video, but of course, I have to remind you guys to pick up a copy of the ebook, The Gentleman's Blueprint, if you don't have it yet. We're still doing some giveaways, including the next couple winners over the next couple weeks. You know, if you decide to purchase it, you're getting a 5 ml decan of any fragrance I have in my collection. Once you win, I will contact you via email, and then you will let me know what fragrance that is. And like I said, I'll be giving away some travel sets and stuff like that along with it. But make sure you get your copy of The Gentleman's Blueprint. Some amazing information on helping men to build to be even better men. So the first fragrance that I want to talk about today is one that you guys are probably accustomed to me talking about, because honestly, I talk about it quite a bit, from the brand of Tom Ford, Noir Extreme. All right, this is, of course, is coffee, cardamom, vanilla, and orange blossom. Nothing else on the market that smells like this. That coffee note was so unique, and to my knowledge, I haven't found another fragrance that has a note of coffee in it yet. I'm pretty sure there are a few, but this is the first one I ever got my nose on. And the coffee is like an Indian dessert, and I think they use like this pistachio kind of flavor or accord for it, because I think it comes in different flavors, if I'm not mistaken. But this stuff is just fantastic. It's a very smooth, a very creamy gourmand kind of fragrance that has a kind of air of class and sophistication about it. So it dresses up really well with the soup. So again, very unique. Again, nothing else really on the market like it. And you know, like I said, they don't really make fragrances that have this kind of unique, you know, quality about it anymore. So definitely one that I feel like is one of the best ever created from the brand of Tom Ford, Noir Extreme. All right, guys, the next fragrance up, this fragrance comes from the brand of Guerlain, released in the year of 2005. L'Instant de Guerlain, Eau Extreme. I think they call it Lidge, is what it's affectionately known as. This is star anise, lemon, tea, cacao, and patchouli. One of its kind. That cacao patchouli combination, I venture to say, now this is one of those fragrances that people would say has that chocolatey patchouli, because it's definitely because you have the cacao and the patchouli here, so it definitely gives that off. The tea is what really makes this fragrance so unique, because you have the chocolate and patchouli with a tea that's almost gives this calming, kind of uplifting presence to this fragrance, then combined with the citruses up top. They don't make them like this anymore. They do have different versions of this. You can still find them on the market that doesn't have the black ring around it. But then they totally changed the bottle presentation after that one. But man, if you're lucky enough to be able to find this, this is a gem. Again, to me, one of the best designer fragrances ever created. From the brand of Guerlain, this is called Lidge. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list comes from the brand of Chanel. This is Bleu de Chanel Parfum. And what you get here is lemon, mint, lavender, cedarwood, and sandalwood. Of all the iterations of Bleu de Chanel, this is my favorite. It's my favorite because it has the more amped up woods in this one. All right, it has the amped up woods in this one, kind of comparatively speaking to the other fragrances from this line. This is my favorite. Love it. I will always cherish this fragrance. It's a little bit more mature of the three. Masterpiece. Masterpiece of that, you know, just pick up and go kind of genre. No wrong time and place to wear this fragrance from the brand of Chanel. Bleu de Chanel Parfum. All right, guys, the next fragrance comes from the brand of Chanel as well. Chanel does fragrance as well. Egoiste. This is a grown man's fragrance right here. Cinnamon, sandalwood, damask rose, tobacco. This is so good. This is so good. I love the cinnamon, sandalwood, tobacco combination of this fragrance. Again, it just smells classy. It smells classy. It smells like a modern gentleman should smell. That's the best way for me to describe this fragrance. I would venture to say, to me, in a weird way, this fragrance is a little bit underrated. I know some people like Platinum, which is a nice kind of fougere barbershop kind of scent, but I'm a big fan of the original Egoiste. This is just next level good to me. Really good for this time of year, for cooler temperatures when you're dressed up. If you haven't smelled it, guys, I highly recommend you check it out. A masterfully done fragrance from Chanel. Check out Egoiste. All right, guys, coming up next, I have another classic for you from the brand of Hermes. Terre de Hermes. Terre de Hermes. This is orange, vetiver, flint, and cedarwood. Now, the vetiver and flint really gives this earthy, kind of rooty presence to this fragrance. And of course, you have that contrasted by the uplifting, bright citrus note or notes up top, because I think there's grapefruit in this as well. But a heavy orange citrusy presence in the opening. This is, again, is another one that is really perfect. I used to wear this fragrance all the time for anything like business meeting. This was kind of like my go-to fragrance. Very inoffensive. And like I said, just masterfully done. Unless it's a flanker of something like this, you don't smell stuff like this anymore. This is a classic. Definitely one of the better designer fragrances ever created, in my humble opinion. From the brand of Hermes, this is Terre de Hermes. All right, guys, with this next fragrance, they had a lot of great fragrances in this whole line. And honestly, my opinion, you can kind of take your pick. But today I felt like going with this one from the brand of Christian Dior, Dior Homme Intense, or affectionately is known as DHI. This is iris, lavender, cedarwood, and ambrette. Now I think there was a original version of this that may have come out in 2007. This version or iteration is from 2011. And I think there was another one in 2020 and then maybe even another one after that. This is the best one to me. From 2011. This is the note to me that kind of popularized, at least for guys, fragrances, that note of iris, that powdery, you've heard people say makeup, lipstick, kind of powdery effect that iris gave in this fragrance, popularized that note to me for guys in men's fragrances. This stuff is phenomenal. It's easily, not only to me, but I think by most people's account, a masterpiece of a designer fragrance. But you can take your pick with this one. Of course, you guys know I love Dior Homme Sport from 2012. And then you have, of course, Dior Homme Parfum, the original one as well. Masterpiece fragrances. There'll probably be a part two when you'll see one or both of those fragrances on that next installment. But definitely a masterpiece, one of the best designer fragrances ever created, in my humble opinion. Dior Homme Intense. All right, guys, this next fragrance was released in my golden era. 2015, from the brand of Giorgio Armani, man. Acqua di Gio Profumo. This is such a classic. Such a classic fragrance. Rosemary, geranium, incense, and patchouli. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. What happens when you take the greatest designer fragrance of all time, the best selling at least, and you put incense and patchouli in it, you get a masterpiece. A fragrance that can be worn anytime, any place, anywhere, and made that scent profile even better, which probably to a lot of people's account would probably be a difficult thing to do, to pull it off. Made it even more versatile, even more mature is the way I would describe it, with the addition of incense and patchouli to this DNA. I love this stuff and always will. From the brand of Giorgio Armani, Acqu Di Gio Profumo. All right, guys, this next fragrance is one that I still consider to be probably the best date night fragrance ever created in the designer side of things. From the brand of Dolce & Gabbana, the one, Eau de Parfum. The one, Eau de Parfum. 2015 release as well, guys. Cardamom, orange blossom, amber, and tobacco. It's great. It's great. Earlier in my fragrance journey, I wasn't sure what it was that made this fragrance so special outside of the amber and the cardamom, but it's the orange blossom. The tobacco is there, of course, as well. It comes across more as like a tobacco leaf, but it's that orange blossom that gives this sweet, almost creamy nuance to this fragrance that, oh, this is so good. If you smell it, you kind of understand what I'm saying, because the other notes are so easy to identify, but that orange blossom is really kind of a game changer in this scent profile that I've learned, and a note that I really love. Classic, masterfully done fragrance. I don't care, it's not a great performer, it's not supposed to be. It's an intimate fragrance. This is for people to get closer. From the brand of Dolce & Gabbana, the one, Eau de Parfum. All right, guys, this next fragrance was released in 2009 from the brand of Mugler, Pure Malt. Pure Malt. This is malt, whiskey, patchouli, and vanilla. The Amen line made gourmand fragrances popular in men's designer fragrances. The original Amen, which of course is the initial release, and you guys know how much I love Pure Havana. Pure Havana is always in my 10 for life. This is the only Mugler fragrance that I consider sometimes, in addition to, I don't want to say taking out Pure Havana, because that's my favorite, but it's another Mugler fragrance that I consider a lot of times putting in my 10 for life. Is that good? I think from a more widespread standpoint, more people probably gravitate towards this one, even more so than Pure Havana. It's just a personal thing for me, but both of them are masterpieces in my humble opinion. So again, that patchouli thing here with the kind of boozy whiskey, one of the better or best boozy designer fragrances that you'll ever put your nose on. So for that reason, it deserves to be on a list like this. From the brand of Mugler, man, a masterpiece. So sad this is discontinued. Pure Malt. All right, guys, and last but not least, this fragrance comes from the brand of Jean-Paul Gaultier, La Mel Popeye Eau Fraiche. Man, this is so good. This is aldehydes, mint, vanilla, tonka bean, and sandalwood. So you get this really fresh, bright, uplifting fragrance. That's the aldehydes and the mint. Both of those work in combination to give you a really super fresh, invigorating scent opening and profile in the opening. And then it dries down, it gets really sweet and creamy with that vanilla, tonka bean, sandalwood combination. Masterpiece. I know that they came out with Popeye, one with La Mel Eau Fraiche, and they had Superman on it and some other ones. I don't know if they still make anything in the Eau Fraiche line to kind of keep this going, but this was kind of the one that put that particular DNA on the map. It was released in 2016. This is Jean-Paul Gaultier La Mel Popeye Eau Fraiche. One of the best fresh summer fragrances, designer fragrances at least ever created. But that is it, guys. That is my time. Hope you enjoyed this video today, as I gave you 10 of the best designer fragrances ever created. What other fragrances do you feel like deserve to be in this category? Leave them down below. I would love to hear from you down in the comment section. And as always, I sincerely appreciate you guys' time and your attention to these videos. You don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe. Please make sure you're sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think could use the information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darren. I'm the BowTie fragrance guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell fantastic. So until next time, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.